Hey guys, this is Tomas from Meshuggah. We're doing this interview today to talk a little about warm-up exercises and what I do, and touch a little bit on why we sound the way we do and how the drumming is what it is, I guess, There's a couple of really difficult aspects of being a drummer in Meshuggah, and that is out of necessity almost. We write a lot in the computer world, if you will, instead of being a band that rehearses and kind of comes up with things together and try to evolve them as such. From that point, we don't really do that, which means I'm not at any point a filter in the creation of any song, which means that Martin or Frederick or Jens can present to me a song that's we all think is really cool and we want to do it, but it's just not, I don't feel good playing it. It might be the tempo or just how it's played. It's not natural for me. So that's one difficult aspect sometimes that I have to be that machine, I mean, it's a challenging aspect. It's still a cool thing, and it's one of the things that made me learn the most, I think, because I had to just kind of accept that situation and try to do the best out of it. And it's sometimes that can be really challenging, when you're playing out of your own comfort zone. And sometimes that's not just when you record the album, it's every time you play that song. It's, some beats and some BPMs and some tempos are just, it's not there, you don't, so you're kind of, you make it work, but some songs are way harder for me to play live. You slowly learn them, of course, and you get better and better at it, but some songs are kind of really, kind of tricky to get down, for sure. To start off writing a song, it usually starts by programming drums, and when you get kind of handed with that, it's so easier to kind of take any kind of rhythmical idea to way greater lengths, than you can actually do just automatically in your head, because it's one thing to come up with like the basics of an idea rhythmically, but then to kind of take that to kind of the extremes would be really hard to do by ear, or more or less impossible. So the way we do it is we program it. You write riffs and you get kind of a blueprint of what you want the drums to be like and what the rhythmical aspects of the track is. And basically to learn it kind of depends on who writes a song. I mean, if I'm involved in a song, it's usually I sit at the kit and I come up with something that I think sounds cool, but I can't really get involved and take it to any kind of length in the extreme sense of rhythm without taking it from the drum set and then going to the computer and programming it. So we all kind of work a lot with programming drums, For me to learn a song, it depends really on a little bit on who wrote it, and of course how close is this rhythm to something that is kind of inherent, in me? Is it something that feels more contrived, because there's always going to be different levels of how comfortable you are, because of tempos. What's the BPM? If it's like 160, 170, those are awkward tempos for me, so it makes everything harder, I mean, it's not harder to learn. My approach to playing those rhythms is really sometimes initially when learning a song, I will actually follow that cycle and not care so much about the underlying beat or where the ones are and so on. I will just kind of try to hear that and kind of get into how does it sound when it just rolls, and then you kind of add the click track to that, and you just kind of slowly mix the two together. But once we're performing it on stage, what I feel is just a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and then you have a different correlation to every bar start. It's a different. You're not playing the same thing, it's a different So you have to learn a whole bunch of chunks of bars, you know, basically. But that's fairly easy, you know. After a while, it's like a seamless thing. You hear this kind of this ostinato or this odd, you know, timed cycle, you know. You kind of hear that ongoing, but you feel the beat at the same time. You feel that, like, that 4/4 pulse. And I mean, I guess it's hard for me to pinpoint exactly how do you do that, or how do you learn that. For me, it's just you know, being in this band a long time and just slowly kind of digging deeper and deeper as a band into those rhythmical ideas that helps. You know, it's hard, I think, to kind of try. There's no quick fix for it, I think, or I don't know one. You know, I don't think it's easy to just let's do something like this and then it's going to feel natural, or, you know, it's going to work for everyone in any given band. You know, it's definitely something that grows on you and that you kind of had to grow into, you know. But at the same time, you know, since most of the songs are just straight beat songs, you know, people talk about polyrhythms and all that and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I don't see it as polyrhythm, you know. I just see it as straight for I understand what they mean. You have these odd cycle, you know, riffs that the drums are sometimes completely playing along with. Sometimes even the snare hits a certain note in this cycle, you know, and you might have, you know, 17 notes over 16 on a guitar, and then it just kind of rolls like that. But I still don't. I mean, I can make it into, and I've seen a lot of people chart them up and make drum notations where they actually restart, like it's not quarter note, like 4/4 bars. It's not divided into those type of bars. It's every cycle, you know, on its own, and then the drums kind of written straight over that, which is just the opposite of how we see it, you know. But it's all I mean, that's all interpretation and how you want to look at a piece of paper if you ever do that, you know. We certainly never, you know, play to any kind of sheet music or anything. It's all just, you know, up here, of course, you know. But that aspect of it's always a little bit like, how do you learn all the polyrhythms? Well, what do you mean? It's, yeah, but you always, and a lot of people hear it like that, you know, hear our music like, I can't hear that myself, because I just hear the crash or the snare, and the rest is kind of secondary in a way, even though it makes up for what the song really is. That ostinato that lies there, what kind of is what is our focus is the straight 4/4. That's kind of the focus, you know. It's a little hard to explain since I don't really know what we're doing, but we make it work somehow, you know. For me, my personal style, if you take me out of the context of being in Meshuggah, out of the band, it's definitely, you know, a little different. It's still, you know, it's still kind of similar, I guess, because otherwise it would just be really weird if I didn't even, you know, play anything like this, you know. But it's definitely more hand-based, I would say. It's not as much. I mean, Meshuggah's music is all about, it's so much like bass drum patterns, and whereas, you know, bass drum pattern songs makes for, you know, powerful, you know, live things, and you can do a lot of things with it and really intricate and interesting stuff. It's not the easiest thing. It's not really what comes natural for you to play, you know, try to play, you know, something that grooves with your hand and then have something that's completely broken up and odd cycled with your feet. It's not, I don't think a lot of drummers have that, you know. That's kind of what I play when I'm on my own too, you know. But at the same time, you know, this is the only band I've played with since I was 19 years old. This is what I've done, you know. I haven't done like side projects. I haven't really had any urge for it, you know, because for some, you know, self-fulfilling art reason, you know, I've never really had that. So So that is the cool. That is one of the cool things with the band too. You know, that I think we have that sense of being in this band, that it's, you know, there's so much still that can be done within this what we're doing, that, you know, personally at least I don't see any reasons to kind of go out and do other things, you know. And another thing too, we're talking about exercises and warm up and how I do that. I see a lot of people on tour, of course, some people even have like full acoustic drum kits, you know, if they're big bands, but you got to play big venues for that, you know, or you annoy the crap out of everyone else, you know, if you're sitting in the dressing room and just going nuts on an acoustic kit. But I've seen people with electronic kits, of course, and but most of them, I guess, use just, you know, like a practice pad, or, you know, like a mesh pad, or one of those like bouncy rubber ones. And I never really did that though. I brought one of those bouncy rubber ones on one tour, and I think I used it once, and then I just, you know, I put it to the side. What I do is I just tap them. I just basically it's kind of what I do. I mean, to warm up, it's just, I can just sit, like usually the hour before a show, this is what you'll see me do, just this. And that's pretty much it. And the same thing with my feet. I'll go like that for like half hour, and that's kind of my warm up. And usually at different speeds, you know, of course, and stuff like that. But I don't sit with a metronome. I don't like do anything serious like that. It's not a practice for me, it's a warm-up, you know. So I don't have to sit and practice, oh, I'm going to do this at 230 BPMs, and now I'm going to put it up at 238. God damn it. What I need basically is to get my forearms warm, my hands, you know, all, you know, ready to go. And the same thing with my legs, you know. It's a warm-up, it's not a practice. So that's enough for a warm-up for me, you know. You just do that for like 45 minutes or an hour, so you're good and like warm before you go up. Yeah, watch it though, because don't hit your legs too hard. My legs are always red here. They have red streaks right across here because I'm always doing that, you know. And sometimes you sit hard too, and it's like, feels nice. But those that's the very advanced warm-up routine of Tomas Haake of Meshuggah. Tap them legs, babies. Tap them. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it and had made some kind of sense out of it, because I sure as hell didn't.